Enter the twisted genius mind of Clive Barker and McFarlane as we begin to review a horrific series of figures that generated controversy in the world of collectors. McFarlane Torture Souls Series 2. In this very first gruesome episode of this series, we will have a closer look at Zain. This is less a figure as it is more a terrifying diorama. Zaine is actually impaled in what appears to be a crude and savage torturing device that resembles a mechanical arm. The figure does require some assembly out of the box, and this could be challenging as there is no assembly instructions included whatsoever. It is obvious at the first glimpse of Zaine that McFarlane Torture Soul series is intended for adults only. As you can observe, the figure is gruesome and horrific at the same time, going hard in the direction of body horror genre as expected from the mind of Clive Barker. There are painfully represented details everywhere, from the exceptional sculpt of the figure to the precision of the paint. Make no mistake, in terms of craftsmanship, this is a beautiful figure. The head sculpt of Zane is good, but what really stands out is the large metal hook that seems to be pulling down on both Zane's eye socket and lips. It is also obvious that one of his eyes is long been removed and the skin was stitched back in a crude manner. The base of the figure is drenched in blood. The skin is completely removed from the left leg, exposing the flesh. On the right leg we have a tall boot with metallical insertions. Zane's legs are bound with multiple belts and leather, giving me a strong Cenobite vibe to this design. Closing in to the rear side of the figure, we can have a closer look at the mechanical device that seems to be endlessly torturing Zaine. You can easily identify here metallical parts such as pistons and cogwheels. There is also a good amount of blood splattered all around the left side. My single observation is that the screws that keep the mechanical device in place are not integrated into the design. However, I am thankful that they actually use screws to hold the figure in place. You can clearly see how the body of the character is impaled in the back of the torso by one of the bladed robot arms. The skin and flesh on Zane's back is clearly shredded by the blade, exposing bones and muscles. Most interesting is that the two strips of leather belt seem to be embedded in the torso to actually keep the body from ripping apart in two. A big barbaric stitching can be seen on one of the sides, keeping the skin on the body. I know you are wondering how tall this figure stands. Let us have a quick but precise measurement using our super cool high-tech measuring device. Including the blades, the figure stands precisely 21.91 centimeters tall. Or if you do prefer your measurements in inches, that is translated to 8.62 inches in height. Do note that these numbers can change due to the mobile parts and the way you will display it. Time to go over the articulation on this figure. There is rotation in the left arm and you can rotate it all the way around if you wish to do so. The right arm has bicep rotation, but this is very limited due to the fact that the arm is attached by a chain to one of the mechanical bladed arms. In my opinion, the chain is best posed in a tension state, as this would appear to pull on the skin from the hand. To achieve this, the mechanical arm must be adjusted all the way to the back. Surprisingly, there is a bend at the knees, so you can adjust the pose using this point. There is also a bend at the foot level as well. The head does appear to have a rotating point, but due to the fact that the hook is connected to the torso and the head, I would not advise you to try this, as this will most likely lead to damaging the figure. I guess you could count the moving points on the robot arms as articulation as well. You can easily remove Zane from his torture device by simply lifting him up from the blade that he sits impaled in. You can then just slide him back into place and adjust the stand the way you want to display the figure. You can notice how the blade will pass all the way to the other side of the torso and be exposed in the chest area. Next, you have to shift the arms with the blades to the position you want. The cut marks from the torso give us a hint on the way this should be done. It's just a matter of positioning the blades to the location of the marks as they are eternally slashing away at Zane's body. Note that you can wedge the upper blade into the space available near the throat of the character. Coming near the end of the first review of McFarlane's Torture Souls Series 2 Zain figure, I will leave you with a final look at this both impressive and yet horrifying design. What better way to be terrified as Halloween season approaches than to watch the Horror Cave series of horrific figure reviews. Remember to subscribe in order to get updates on the next horror figure reviews coming to the Collector's Cave. Be afraid. Be very afraid.